Put your faith in the light!
Hello and welcome to the next edition of the Epic Geeks Hearthstone series. Today we are looking at the Paladin Deck. Now, as a Paladin in Hearthstone, you will be represented by the dashing human Uther Lightbringer, as you'll see up in the right hand corner. The Great Alliance Paladin and founder of the Knights of the Silver Hand. The Paladin class in Hearthstone works through the use of combining several cards to best effect and functions much in the same way as the class does in World of Warcraft, for those of you that play that game, by using AoE, healing and defense. It's a well-rounded class that focuses on strong minions and limiting your opponent's ability to use their own minions, basically. The ultimate aim of the Paladin deck is to keep as many of your own minions on the board and limiting your opponent, so it's basically all about board control. To help with this, most of the well-built Paladin decks contain multiple minions and spells, such as Divine Shield, so that a minion can't be killed without at least 2 hits of damage. For example, Hand of Protection, which gives a minion Divine Shield. Works quite well against classes like the Mage, that obviously have their hero class, which will cause 1 damage, and they generally use that to get rid of Divine Shields, etc. This can also be combined with a Taunt card to create an army of minions which prove exceedingly difficult to remove. The Hearthstone hero power for the Paladin is called Reinforce. This ability costs 2 mana, summons a 1/1 Silverhand recruit to your aid, and while a 1/1 minion may might not sound like anything spectacular even, due to the way that Paladin class plays, and the cards that are available to it, a 1/1 minion is constantly a threat to your opponent, and is quite handy because normally, or sometimes, your opponent will ignore them because of the fact they're just 1/1 minions, and then that means that you can bring out your buff cards and make those 1/1 minions more of a threat. For example, Paladins make good use of buffs like Blessing of Kings, which is here, which give a minion plus 4/4 attack and health. So a 1/1 minion can suddenly be a 5/5 minion the next round if your opponent doesn't get rid of it. There are also good combinations you can use, like Sword of Justice, which I haven't got. However, I can show you if I go into crafting mode. Sword of Justice, whenever you summon a minion, give it a 1/1 plus 1/1, although the sword uses durability. So this is quite a good combo card to have. You can make a decent card like Sword of Justice. Very, very good card if you combine it with a card such as Imp Master. If I show you Imp Master, at the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to this minion and summon a 1/1 Imp. So you can turn an annoying card like Imp Master, which just fills your board full of 1/1 Imps, to suddenly having lots of 2/2 minions on the board, which again, against classes like the Mage, can prove reasonably useful once you have a few minions out. If you combine them with other buffs, then you can, like Argent Defender for example, where you give adjacent minions 1 plus 1/1 and a taunt, all of a sudden you're in quite a strong position on the deck from just having a load of 1/1 minions. So those 2 cards have stats that make any card a much larger threat than it otherwise would have been, which is basically how a Paladin deck plays. Now, like other classes in Hearthstone, Paladin can use combinations to great effect, and can turn the fight in your favour. Like the combination of Sword of Justice and Imp Master, as I've just said. If you are using Sword of Justice, don't just use it to attack randomly unless you really, really need to. It's far better to use it to boost the minions that you summon. So use it basically as a buff rather than using it to attack itself. It only causes 1 damage anyway, so it's much better just to keep hold of it and use it to buff your minions. Paladins also have powerful board-wide spells like Consecration, which we have here. Deals 2 damage to all enemies, and you can combine this along with things like Equality and Wild Pyromancer, which prove great combinations to basically clear the board. If you have a Wild Pyromancer and you put that down, if you cast a spell you deal 1 damage to all minions. You put Equality down, which is a spell which changes all of your minions' health to 1. You'll then wipe the board, but do bear in mind that Equality does change the health of all minions, including your own, and while Pyromancer deals 1 damage to all minions, including your own. So if you have minions, attack with them first before clearing the board. But it is a very cheap way of clearing the board. It only costs 4 mana to use those 2, and in combination they are amazing. You can also use either of these 2 cards in conjunction with Consecration. So if you haven't got Equality out but you've got lots of minions that are, say, 3 health, then you can use Consecration and Wild Pyromancer to clear the board. There is also, I thought I brought that up. I just want to say firstly, this is not a deck. I just literally put these on the board just to show you. So I had a quick and easy way to get to these cards. Avenging Wrath, it was there. Deals 8 damage, randomly split amongst enemy characters. Again, a good board clearer, and causes damage to the enemy hero on top of that as well. Paladins also have strong self-healing abilities, which allow them to survive powerful blows dealt to their hero, such as Holy Light, which only costs 2 mana, but restores 6 health, and Lay on Hands, which restores 8 health and draws 3 cards, which is very good to have later on in the game. So don't worry too much about losing health early on, as there are lots of ways to get it back later. In fact, with the decks I use for my Paladin, I've been in a few situations where I've been down to 2 or 1 health, and the other player's been on 15 to 20 health, and I've actually managed to come back and win the game based on the cards that I've got in my hand. There's also Guardian of Kings, which I would recommend if you have it, putting in your deck. It's not overly expensive really, it's 7 mana compared to some of the other later in game cards, but it restores 6 health and gives you a 5/6 minion, so it's well worth the investment in mana later on in the game. Minions increase spell power, can have a big impact on the game as well, especially with cards that affect multiple enemies like Consecration and Avenging Wrath. If you've got a card that increases your spell power and you've got that down, then obviously your Avenging Wrath is going to cause 9 damage instead of 8, and your Consecration is going to cause 3 damage instead of 2. Where's it gone? There it is. It's also worth noting that the Paladin class does not have any minions with Taunt, so it's a good idea to pull a few general cards from the neutral packs, so that you have this ability in your deck. 2 good choices are Defender of Argus, because you get a 3/3 minion and it gives you adjacent minions taunt, and bearing in mind the general gameplay of the Paladin is trying to get minions on the board, you will have 2 minions on the board that have got +1 on each stat, and they're taunt as well. And you've also got Sun Fury Protector, which again gives adjacent minions taunt and also gives you a 2/3 minion. So you kind of double up there. Rather than just having a taunt card in your deck, you can have the ability to have 2 taunts out on the board, which is going to be very, very useful for the Paladin gameplay. Now, what you need to remember when playing a Paladin is that the Paladin decks makes all of the minions dangerous. Every minion that you have in your hand, even the 1/1s, as I said, can be potentially dangerous due to the cards that can either boost your minion's power or reduce the power of your opponent's minion. There are cards, I should have probably put it in to show you, but things like Eldor Peacekeeper, which changes an enemy minion's attack to 1. So cards like that can reduce the enemy minion's threats quite significantly. There are also cards like neutral cards like Big Game Hunter, which destroy a minion with 7 attack or more, which are worth considering putting in your hand just to negate any of the big cards that your enemy might play. So keep a minion in play as a threat as much as you can. As a pally, you need to try and get minions on the board, control the board as best as you can. So board wiping is very important, so that you can keep control of the board, and then bring out your buff cards. You can cause some real damage to your opponent once you've got a few minions up and running. Paladins are one of the few classes as well, along with mages and hunters, that make use of secrets. Now these are better saved for later on in the game, with one exception, that being noble sacrifice. Otherwise, the others all have much more impact against minions or attacks later on in the game, so noble sacrifice is probably the only one you want to play sort of earlier on. As to be completely honest with you, I'm not a great fan of pally secrets in the game. I think they work much better against players that don't know how to work around them. They're very easy to work around if you know what you're doing. I personally don't have secrets in my hand. I'm sure there are players out there that do make good use of them in their hand. I personally don't like them, but it's up to you whether you do want to play them or not. Now, if you are playing against a paladin and you want to know how to work around a secret, then there are a few things you need to think about. There are 4 secrets that paladins have. An eye for an eye is the first one I'm going to show you, where when your hero takes damage, deal that much damage to the enemy hero. Now, this is a very easy one to work around. Just if there's a secret up on a paladin, either use your weaker spells or your weakest minions that you control to attack them, and that way, if you're only using a 1/1 minion to attack the paladin, then you're only going to damage yourself by 1, and then you can use your bigger hitting abilities afterwards. Noble sacrifice, as I just said, when an enemy attacks, summon a 2/1 defender as a new target. Again, just use your weaker spells, your weaker minions first, so that if it gets it changes the new target and hits the defender instead, you're only wasting a small spell, a small damage hitting minion, as opposed to using your bigger minions first. There's redemption. When one of your minions dies, return it to life with 1 health. So if you're attacking the paladin's minions when there's a secret up, just go for their cheaper, their lower minions first, their 1/1s, etc., rather than going for their better minions, their legendaries, because then the legendary won't be returned. You'll just be returning one of their weaker minions. So that's another one you can work around. And repentance. When your opponent plays a minion, reduce its health to 1. This is really probably the only secret that I like out of these. When it works really, really well. But generally, you want to save this for near the end of the game and hope that the enemy drops a legendary minion first and not some 1/1 Murloc. But again, if you're playing against a pally and there's a secret up and you think it might be repentance, then put your 1/1 Murloc down and not your legendary, because otherwise you're just going to be losing it that round probably. Counters, if you're playing against a paladin other than the secrets, there are a few things to consider to counter their gameplay. Silence, for example, is a very powerful ability against the pally because it renders cards such as, if I can find him, Tyrion Fordring, useless. Tyrion is an amazing card. I have him in both my decks. Got Divine Shield and a Taunt and a Death Rattle, which equips a 5/3 weapon once he's killed. Now, if you've got a Silence or a Hex in your deck, then that is going to negate Tyrion Fordring and make him completely and utterly useless. So that's one way. If you have got any of those abilities in your hands and you're playing a paladin, try as best you can to keep it. Don't waste it on some of the weaker minions early on in the game. Try and keep at least 1 in your hand, so that if the paladin brings out Tyrion Fordring later on in the game, you can just negate it with 1 simple card. It's also worth noting that trying to use weak damaging spells like Backstab or the Mage's Fire Blast on minions with Divine Shield is the best way to remove the shield without unnecessarily damaging your own minions first. And it's also worth noting that cards like Equality, that change a minion's health, will work through Divine Shield, and removal cards like Assassinate will still instantly kill a minion with Divine Shield. Abilities like cards like Harrison Jones and Acidic Swamp Ooze that can destroy equipment will take away a lot of the Paladin's board clearing capability as well, so it is worth having one of those in your deck if you're having problems against a Paladin. Okay, that's kind of like a little run through basically of the Paladin gameplay. No, I don't want to keep that deck. It's not really a deck. It's just an example of a load of cards. Now the two cards, or the two Paladin decks I play, I'll just run through them quickly. My first one is basically a means to get as many minions on the board as possible and then buff them up with, and then I have a few board clearing cards as well, and the big hitters down the bottom. So I've got my buffs like Blessing of Might, it gives +3 attack. I've got my Sun Fury and my Shattered Sun Cleric. It gives a friendly minion +1/1. I've got things like Defender of Argus, which gives minions +1/1 and Taunt. I will be getting 2 of those in my deck, but I've only got 1 at the moment, so I'm limited to what I can do with that one. Cards like Equality and Consecration for board clearing, and a Hammer of Wrath, which gives you the card. And the minions, I've got Ardent Protector, which gives a minion Divine Shield. I've got Murloc Tidehunter, which gives me a 1/1 Murloc in top. Novice Engineer, which helps me draw a card. Iron Rifleman, which deals 1 damage, which is just for board control. Razorfen Hunter, which summons a 1/1 boar. So it's basically as many means as I can just to get minions on the board, even 1/1s. As I said, they are all a threat in a Paladin hand, and if you put something like a Murloc Tidehunter down, they're more likely to go for your Murloc Tidehunter first and leave the Murloc Scout if they're not able to get rid of it. Later on in the game, I've got cards like Frostwolf Warlord, which gains 1/1 for each friendly minion in the battlefield. Stormpike Commando, which deals 2 damage, which gains for board clearing, but also gives you a 4/2 minion. Guardian of Kings to help restore health and give you a 5/6 minion. Lay on Hands to give you 8 health and draw 3 cards. And Tyrian Fordring. I put these. This was basically one of my cheap decks. It didn't cost a lot of money, but I've later on added these two just for a bit of support later on in the game, because I found that I didn't really have enough big hitting cards for later on. This particular deck probably won't work very well as you go up into the sort of 15 plus rankings, but it's not a bad deck to start off with when you're at rank 25, just to get you through a few rounds, or just to get used to using the Paladin when you haven't got many of the big cards to play later on. You can obviously swap these out, if you haven't got these, with whichever cards you have. Legendary or epics preferably, and my other deck which I'm playing with at the moment is my Pally Control deck, which I've probably got about 85% win rate with at the moment. It's a very, very fun deck to play because you have cards for nearly every situation. I've even been, as I said, in situations where I've been down to 2 or 1 health, and I've managed to come back and beat an enemy that's got 20 health because of the cards that you have in here. Now I've got good combinations like Equality and Wild Pyromancer, which, as I said, if you put these two down together, just work amazingly well to clear the board. Cast a spell, deal 1 damage to all minions. You then cast Equality as a spell, which reduces all the minions' health to 1, and that wipes the board. But obviously bear in mind it will wipe your cards as well. But if you haven't got any cards on the board and they have 5 or 6, then it's an amazing card to play and can be quite demoralising for the other player. You've also got Consecration, which again works well with Equality or even Wild Pyromancer in certain circumstances. And these two, Equality and Wild Pyromancer, only cost 4 mana, So you can start using them quite early on if the other player is managing to gain control of the board quite early. I've also got things like Earthen and Farseer, restore 3 health, Big Game Hunter, which destroys minions with 7+ attack, Aldor Peacekeeper, which changes a minion's attack to 1. So it's just basically about reducing the enemy player's threat and stopping them from playing or using their big hitting cards. Mind Control Tech, which will take one of your enemies' minions if they're playing 4, if they've got 4 minions on the board. Wolf Rider just for a charge. True Silver Champion, which is a weapon which has got 2 durability and causes 4 damage, and also restores 2 health to your hero. So when using this, try as best you can to use it against the enemy hero as opposed to against minions, which will stop you from taking damage. But if you do need to use it against a minion, just try and make sure you use it against minions that will give you 2 or less damage, so that you don't take too much damage yourself from it. I've also got Abomination, which is again is quite good for board clearing because it's a taunt, but it's also a death rattle and deals 2 damage to all minions. So if you're in a position whereby your enemy has got lots of minions out which are 2 or less, you can stick him down, and the minute he dies, he'll wipe the board for you. It's very nice for a minute. Faceless Manipulator, just for nicking one of the enemy's cards if they put down a good one, or you can use it to copy one of your own cards. If you put like Ragnaros down, for example, you can use Faceless Manipulator and have 2 Raggies on your board. How amazing would that be? I haven't had that situation yet, but I'm looking forward to the day that will happen. Stampeding Kodo will destroy an enemy with 2 or less attack and give you a 3/5 minion on the board. Avenging Wrath, deal 8 damage, split randomly against all characters. Guardian of Kings, restore 6 health to your hero and a 5/6. Lay on Hands will restore 8 health and draw 3 cards, which is very good for later on in the game. Good old Raggy has won the day for me several times. I've been very lucky with the RNG lately, where it's taken out the hero rather than a minion on the board and won me the day. If it had gone another round, I would have died, but Raggy saved me. Tyrion Fordring, as I said, great card to have, as long as your enemy doesn't have some kind of silence or hex in their hand. As I said, I've had about 85% win rate with this deck, but it's very fun to play. So if you are willing to put in the time, it did take me about probably a month and a half, 2 months to save to get these cards, because there are a lot of epics and legendaries in it. I'm only missing 1 legendary at the moment. I want to put if I can find it, Sylvanas in it. She's quite a good card. I haven't got it, as I said, but Sylvanas Windrunner, 5 mana, Death Rattle, take control of a random enemy minion, and she's 5/5. So very nice card to put in this deck once I get it. If I'm lucky enough, hopefully I'll get it in the not so near future. It will just strengthen up this deck nicely. So if you can save up, I've had to use quite a lot of dust to get some of these cards because I haven't been lucky enough to get them all in my packs. Or if you want to spend money on buying packs, then go for it that way. But have a go at it if you want. Lots of fun, and I'm just going to show you a recent game next. Yay! Paladin Deck. So the deck I'm using at the moment is a kind of high-end deck with some control and a few epics and legendaries. It's quite an expensive deck to build, but it is worth it to if you want to spend the time working towards it. It's taken me probably about a month to get all the cards together. I'm still missing 1 card, Sylvanas Windrunner.
I will fight with honor.
Which will be a good card to add to the deck once I manage to get it. The only problem I find with it is it's quite slow sometimes to start up. As long as you get cards like Equality though, early on, and not cards like Ragnaros, then you're normally alright. Now playing a Shaman, it's very important to try and control the board. So obviously they bring out their little totems and stuff, and they get rather annoying. I don't mind searing totems, they're fine. It's when they have the totems that add health and add... now these two together, discard, Wild Pyromancer, and Equality work brilliantly together, especially if you've got no minions on the board and they've got loads, because you put him out, after you cast a spell, deal 1 damage to all minions. Then you cast your spell, Equality, which changes everything to 1, and then obviously he wipes them all out. It's an amazing combo. Right, we're just gonna counter.
Job's done.
Reporting for
He's
duty.
probably just gonna take him out, but at least that gets rid of his searing totem. He's gonna put another one out. Let's see what we do. Oh, I don't mind that. Taunt's fine. Oh, I've got 2 equalities. Nice. Don't think I really wanna. I can't put that down yet anyway. I'm definitely not gonna put them down yet. And he's obviously going for the face, so.
To battle!
Get him down next round. Hopefully he'll go for the face again. Or he'll start playing all his cards and build up a nice little rack, and then we can get rid of them.
Eyes are open.
That's a bit of a waste. Restore 3 health for his 0-2 tank. I wouldn't have done that. So I'm getting all my big cards out, which is quite nice for later on. And I've got some good control cards, so what I need really is another Pyromancer or Consecration. I've got him as well,
I wonder.
which is a nice card.
To battle!
Get him down to 1 again. He can waste his health cards on his little 0-2 tank if he wants to. And I'm just going to put him out.
Reporting for duty.
Don't worry about taking damage early on as a pally. You've got plenty of ways later on
My
to
shield
build
for
up.
Argus.
Like him, for example. This is where he starts getting excited. He's getting really excited now because he's like, way. But he hasn't damaged. He's only damaged me by 1, and he's getting his little cards out. I could wait another round before I play my big cards, but it's probably not worth it. Let's go for this one.
Do you like to play with fire?
And Michael, just to show you, for the purpose of the tutorial, what happens. It's amazing. Ah! Obviously you destroy your own card too, but that's a sacrifice that you have to make when playing this deck. And you only got rid of the 1 card that wiped the board, so. And as a shaman, he's trying to. Oh, use that now? I should have kept that in case until I got my weapon out. Never mind.
Smell blood.
Do you? Do you smell blood? Oh, look at that! I've got another one out. I'm not gonna waste it yet though. I could play it now. That would really pee him off, wouldn't it? 2, 4, and I've got a 2 still. Or I get rid of one of them and draw a card.
Let me think.
And put him out because he's wasting his things at the moment, isn't he? Yeah, let's go that route. Because I have a feeling he's gonna. Oh, nice. I have a feeling he's gonna
Job's done.
put more minions out
Reporting for duty.
this very round.
The gates are open.
Oh, no, okay. He didn't at all. I kind of thought he was going to do more than that, but he didn't. My Elven Archer can get rid of him. That's fine. I don't really want to be using that yet, because I know he's got more stuff up his sleeve. Change his attack to 1.
I wonder.
Right, let's just go for this route for now.
Follow the rule.
One shot, 1 kill.
I'm not gonna waste him just yet. I'm gonna keep him on the board and get another one out.
Reporting for duty.
Only because it gives him something else he has to kill rather than attacking me.
Your magic shall not
Because
save.
they're on the board and you can use them, doesn't mean you have to use them. Okay. Clever.
Well played.
Twombly's got his 6 back, so. We're gonna have to get rid of that card next, aren't we, really? I've got 12 damage you can cause. Lucky he didn't hit me twice. So now is when
To battle!
I'm gonna go wham,
I'll give it a shot.
wham.
Do you like to play with fire?
Wham. And then, I can put him out next. I don't think he's gonna have enough to get rid of me. And I've also got that I can do next. Let's put him out.
Reporting for duty.
You've got 3 cards. He's gonna put a tome out, I reckon.
They all bend to my command.
Oh, there's my weapon, and he's just used that one. Right. Might be worth using him next. Just to try and get rid of these cards, and then hopefully they'll be done enough for me to get rid of them with one of my guys. I've still got him I can play next. I've also got him that I can use. Do I want to waste that now? Yeah, let's go for it. And that is the one I won't get rid of. They're a bloody pain in the arse. And then we're going to put him down.
Well played. Follow the rules. Thank you. To battle! Must move quickly.
I've got a couple of options next time. We can play that. Oh, he didn't want that. He didn't want that totem to come out, did he?
Mind if I roll need?
Oh, got 2 out. Nice. It's worth getting rid of him because he's giving him +2 and that one +2. And we can get rid of him. He'll have a card, but you know, whatever. Or I can put him out. No, it's worth getting my weapon out because it will heal me up a bit. And we're going for him, and he won't die from this because he's got no attack. And then he's going to draw a card, but
To battle!
who cares? Now I've got 2 options. I can either go for the face and give him 4 damage, or I can get rid of that one and take 1 damage because I'll gain 2 but get 1.
For justice!
And purely because he's a Shami, I'm going to do that. I don't like shamans having minions on the board. I should have put. See, that was a mistake. I should have put. I didn't realise. I should have put out my another minion. I've still got 6 mana. Error on my part. I apologise. I hate that card. It's annoying. What? Why? I don't understand why he did that. He should have kept that. That was a fucking. That was a mistake. Don't think he meant to do that. I can. Right. Do I do Raggy yet? I don't think I'm going to do Raggy quite yet. He's running low on cards, so
wonder.
let's heal myself back up.
Justice. Reporting for duty. For justice.
I'm gonna have to get him, but I'm not gonna take any damage because I'll gain 2 and lose 2. Now, ordinarily, I say don't, and you've heard me before, don't use the weapon, that particular weapon, on a minion.
We must cleanse the
But
Sunwell.
as long as you're not going to take damage, or only going to take 1 damage, then it's fine. Especially if you're playing a chamois when you want to control the board as much as possible, then it's not really a problem. Okay. So again, I've got Raggy I can use. I'm not going to use Raggy yet. I can make a copy of a card, or I can restore 6 health, which is going to get me right back up to 30.
I wonder.
And I can put him down as well.
Justice.
He's giving them +2. He's only a 3, and that's only going to give me 1 damage. So we're going to attack him in the face. And no, can't use that.
Job's done.
Reporting for duty.
One of them out. But he was hoping for one that would give him +2. Again, annoying card, need to get rid of that. It gives, at the end of your turn, restore 1 health to all friendly minions. That was painful, wasn't it?
Drink with me, friend.
No, could do that. With a totem. Okay, now I could copy that minion. I don't know if it's worth it. You would restore health by 1. It's going to give me 6, isn't it? Because I can get rid of it now anyway, can't I? Can I? Not quite. Tricky decisions. Now, he's got no cards left, has he? Let's look at it this way. He's got no cards left. I could make a copy of that. Might be a bit of a waste. If I make a copy of that, that will heal up these guys. I can take him out with that card. Right, okay. Right. And then what we're going to do is take him out.
Move quickly. For
And
justice.
take him out. He should heal up him to at least 2. He's going to have to wipe him out, otherwise he's going to keep being healed. Has he got...
Behold the might of Stormwind.
Okay, I think I need to put Raggy out now. And I need to take him out. It's annoying he got. It's annoying really that he got him out then.
Reporting for duty.
Nope.
Vengeance. To battle.
There's every chance Raggy's going to take him out as well, so going to take one of them out. I'm going to get healed out, and handy. I didn't mind, to be honest.
Tazdingo.
Go for the face or go for him. We're in quite a good position, but we're nowhere near
Thank you.
Nowhere near winning. Okay, so we've got 2 consecrations, and we haven't got a lot of things. We can't really use that yet because I haven't got 3 health. So. Might as well. I could play another one. Purely because of the point of the game that we're at. He's only going to get 1 card at a time. And we're in a position where we can nearly kill him off.
To battle!
In fact, we will kill him off this
To
round,
battle!
I think.
Vengeance.
Because Raggy should deal him.
Well played. For justice.
Raggy's going to kill him anyway, but...
I am sorry.
Come on, Raggy, do your stuff. So when you get to a point of that game where you can see that he's got no cards, he's only going to get 1 card out at a time, and it's worth using, 2 consecrations because you're going to take his minions out, especially if one's a taunt, and then you know that you've got cards on the board that's going to wipe him out of that round. You need to think ahead, really, turns to come. What you can do with the cards in your deck, what he's able to do, and at that point he was just hoping for lucky cards. So in that situation, just kill them off. Just do it, people. Just do it.